Okay, here we are at beautiful Ocean Reef Golf Club in Key Largo, Florida. Len Blake, and thank you to my erstwhile cameraman here, Brett Jones, New Jersey Player of the Year and New Jersey Teacher of the Year. Proud to have you aboard, Brett. The question on the website was all about pressure point number 3, and that's the trigger finger of this right hand and exactly where it is. So here on this Wednesday, April 4th, 2012, let's take a look. If you had a T or a toothpick or a straw, and you put it in the crinkle, if you will, of this first index finger, right there in that crook, that's where the number 3 pressure point is. Well, now, we don't play with teas and straws, toothpicks. Here, we play with golf shafts. If we had the golf shaft here, and we located that right in that crinkle, right in that nook, right there, and if we took that and brought that pressure is right behind the shaft, we bring it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, and as that grip gets fatter and fatter, it appears that that is loaded against this big fleshy pad here, and it is there, but the pressure is really right here, that knuckle against that back. That's what we're pushing with. But because we're at the fatter end of the grip, and because we got this part of the finger to worry about too, it's in here. So what I've done here is I put that thin shaft in the crook of that forefinger, brought it all the way down. That very much puts the grip in the fingers, and Mr. Hogan advised us, with the grip in the fingers, then simply fold the hand over. And he says there's a lot left to fold over. Mr. Hogan said, get the feeling that this first knuckle here rides high on the club as opposed to low in here. So this pressure point then behind the shaft is going to put that first knuckle here, and it's going to leave you a lot of right hand to fold over. You're not going to be here. This hand is turned to the right, and that's putting the pressure point under the shaft. This hand is rolled too much to the left, and that's putting the pressure point on top of the shaft. Like Goldilocks, we want it just right, and that means we want vertical right hand here, and a pressure point that's right behind the shaft. Now, interestingly, we had as a corollary question I read, this left thumb, where does it go? Does it go down the right side of the shaft, or does it go behind the shaft? Well, the answer is it's both. The shaft changes depending on where you are in the swing. At the grip, I'm going to look down with a bent left wrist and see, as Mr. Byron Nelson advised us, half the back of my left hand. That's going to be at least 2 knuckles, maybe even some of, or even all of the third. And the thumb is going to go down the right side. If the top of the shaft is 12 o'clock and if the back of the shaft is 3 o'clock, I'm going to be somewhere in between. But that's with my left wrist bent in an adjusted address. I don't meet the ball there, I meet the ball here with the left wrist flat. The club is not going straight toward the target at impact, it's going to the right of target because we're moving in a circle, and impact is always inside out from the impact point to the low point. Even with an outside in stroke, impact itself, the circle moving around on the plane, is inside out. With an inside out stroke, for sure it's moving inside out impact. So whether you're swinging on line, open line, or cross line, impact is always inside out. And if you got the ball played inside your lowest point, which is inside your shoulder, the club is coming down, down, down until it reaches the lowest point, then you're going to still be moving out. Well, that puts this point, look at this thumb. It is now, look where it is. It appeared here at the address to be on the right side of the shaft, but as I move through, that club face is no longer square at impact. It's slightly open, and it's going to close up during that split second, that 3/4 of an inch, that 4/10,000ths of a second is called impact. And now look at that thumb. This heel of this right hand is dead against the back of it. So now we have 3 points. We have this point here behind the shaft. We have this point here behind the shaft. And look at this, the last 3 fingers of the left hand all aligned behind the shaft. So points 1, pressure point 1 here, heel of the right hand against the left hand thumb. Pressure point 2 here, controlling the left hand wrist cock. Number 1 controlled the right arm drive. And here against number 3, this trigger finger, all lined up for the strike. So, pressure point number 3, just take it down here, fold the hand over, and you got it. Pressure point 1 against the heel of the right hand. And this thumb that looked down the right side of the shaft at address is truly behind the shaft as you drive through it.